It's your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Party, I'm a real go-getter. Rock a fur coat, but it's not chinchilla. Who's that dude with the master plan? It's Mr. Pinecone with the mic in my hand. I ball on a budget, got a bag full of nuggets. Living life to the fullest before I'm kicking the bucket. No time for the haters, I'm the meat and potatoes. I'm the product of Anunnaki and godly invaders. You wanna go down the rabbit hole? Well, come along with me. Let me phone comb. Let me take you on the trip to the Pleiades or the Seven Seas. We can sail them all. Bring your dungarees and your toothbrush, your knapsack. We'll have a nightcap, then I'll bring you back. Mr. Pinecone's come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves, and we are here to talk about, by the way, I have a conference call in the morning with crypto.com, and we'll see how that goes. But it turns out they're looking for partners again for what I've got going on with MEXC over here in the bottom. What side is that? Yeah. How the fuck do I do that? Right there. So it looks like maybe crypto.com might be a sponsor. Who knows? We'll see. Hold out for that BBD, right? But the market is not doing anything. It's trending along, waiting for that moment. We're not getting, you know what, the best thing that we could see right now for everything would be to have like a little bit of a pump to give us some sort of faith, some feeling that something good is about to happen, that we're getting, on the horizon is this move. And, we can feel it just accumulating. We can feel that stuff going on. And just not a bit of it, not a bit. Pre-markets were basically stable because we went up 500 points today. So let's talk about it. First, let's get into chat and say what is going on, Gerhard. I hope you didn't go back to sleep, man. What's up, DeFi God? Tony B in the house. Tony P in the house. Oh my God. Man, I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for tuning in anyway. David Bleeves, do you think that Lunk in a bull market will go to $1 or 10 cents, like you said? Yeah, it's going to go to 10 cents. It's going to go to a penny. Look, Terra Luna Classic is far from done. There's ebbs and flows to everything right now, and we're in the ebb portion right now. But it will start flowing again pretty soon. Like we don't, if I'll put it this way, if these developers were working super hard right now, and they were just absolutely crushing it, and they were getting mission accomplished after mission accomplished after mission accomplished, we still wouldn't have anything. So, we would basically just be getting ready. We wouldn't have an AFT yet. They've already laid out the plan. It's not till the first quarter of 2023. So there's this plan, a long-term sort of strategy that still has to play out. And if they're slowing down just a little bit, add a new developer and make up for some of the time that you missed, and then all of a sudden everything is working just fine like it was. So I wouldn't feel too bad about what's going on right now, even though, you want to see a pump, obviously. But, with Binance, if the volume is good with Binance might have a gigantic a burn. But I think that, the shine has worn off on the whole burn process. Do we need burn process? Yes, we absolutely do. Is it silly for crypto kings to come out here and say shit like, oh, we're going to burn 2.5 trillion with lithosphere? Lithosphere isn't going to burn anything. They spent $1,500 to burn 10 million coins so they look like they were doing something. And then that wallet hasn't moved since. And I'm pretty sure that was in September when they did that. So, what they're saying is the game that nobody plays is going to somehow do 2.5 trillion. What they're doing is they're posturing in order to try to get people to buy their NFTs. That's what they did last time. They jumped into the Luna Classic community all of a sudden in order to get people to buy NFTs, and now they've burned in 4 months now $1,500. Classy Crypto has burned that in a month. So let's put some perspective on all of this. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's irresponsible to come out here and say shit like that. Like, it's not real. So, when 1337, hey, is staking live? I was waiting for, oh shit, hair is fucked up. I was waiting. Thanks, Mark. Good evening, Anthony. Jobby, what's going on? Cam Webb, what is going on, my man? Mike, 5 more days until Terrarium. So, that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I is it a good price right now? I haven't, to be fair, I've been so busy today that I haven't even looked. And I don't think you're supposed to say that, man. What I'm supposed to say, I'm not allowed to say any of that. What I'm supposed to say is, hello, my name is Bleeves. I am not on the team with neither Lillian Finance nor Coinbase, nor am I an expert in either one of them. My job here is only to say my opinion. And my opinion is, do your own research. That's the extent of what I'm allowed to say right now. So, what's up, Sebastian? Yeah, so it's kind of crazy what we've got happening right now. So let's you know what? Let's just break it down. All right, so as you can see here from the market cap, 25. I don't even know if you can see this. If I zoom in here, can we see this a little bit better? Look at that volume for 24-hour volume, $25 billion, and we went up 500 points in the stock market today. That is a massive, and I mean a massive decoupling from the market. Generally speaking, when the market goes up, crypto goes up. That's been the sentiment for a while, but that is not happening right now. So 810 billion market cap. So we're up a little bit in market cap for the day, but $25 billion in volume. Listen, $25 billion in volume. As soon as we dump anything, that is a disaster in the making. And, as you go down this list here, this is the positives right here. Helium's up 34% in the 24-hour. So we have a little breakout, but I mean, let's go look at this and let's pamp that shit down just a little bit, because in the 7-day, it's only up 9%. So, as we go down this, XDC's 15, but then after that, 1.57%. And listen, we've heard a ton in the last couple of weeks. And it's still, with this market, has not resulted in any sort of appreciable pump. So here we sit, and this is a nervous moment right now. When you're looking at the market, you're feeling this like general sense of down, right? And that makes you feel bad. And what that brings to you is, I should sell, I should get the fuck out, I should not be doing this. Hence this volume right here. I've really got to change that to red, and I got to make that much leaner on the lines here. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Anyway, fuck my life. Anyway, I wonder actually if I did just fix that. Did I? Of course not. Of course I didn't fix it. Why would I have fixed it? That would have been, God damn it. Oh, that's gross, right? We can agree that's gross. Fuck this entire app. Oh, brush width. Here we go. Let's do this down to about 7. There we go. All right. So 25 is just garbage. We're gonna dump. There's no enthusiasm. When this happens, this is when the dumps are ready to happen. Now, here's the other part. What if the dumps already happened? What if all of this downward pressure, all this downward momentum, what if all this is what's happened? I'm going to show you why I say that in just a second and why I think that rally is going to be big in January and February. I'm going to show you exactly why. We're going to move over here and you can see we're still, it's not 50-50, but Ethereum is still positive on the day. Everything else seems to be a little bit in the red with just a few with VeChain popping off to the positive, Ton popping off to the positive, Leo to the positive, Uniswap to the positive. There's a certain rhythm here that's going on. So, but we'll see. Volt is now has added a 0 back. Even though the market, again, the market has been good, but Volt has added back a 0. And as you go down this list, you notice I made some changes over here. And I made some changes because I'm just not sure about what I wanted to throw in. So we got Terra up here having a not a run, but it's up 2% on the day. Decanect 1609, BRL at $1.59, WAGMI 32.13, Saitama 11.35, Volt 97.11, Lillian 13.37. That's pretty elite. Hey, Modi. Oh my God, Modi, are you here? Why is Lily at 13.37 and BRL is not at 13.37? What kind of shit is this? Yuck. That's crazy. And then Bollocks token. We're going to start covering this because Derek is my guy. So, we're going to start covering this. We're going to look at it every day. And I want to point out here, upon the launch of Bollocks token, we're sitting at a $20 million market cap. So I think this has done a pretty good job. And Suka, heard a lot about it, right? Heard a lot about it. And it is on its way. Had a nice little pump over here back in November. Remember, we started hearing about it again. Everything is going on. Well, now it is in full. It is, Jesus Christ, it's down big. So it's in full dump mode. So that $54 million market cap is about to disappear. I don't even remember why this thing pumped. I have no idea. But let's move on. Bull Run Life should be. Here's this tutorial. I'm going to be doing a live stream with Steve from Rocket Crypto tomorrow. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on with Bull Run. And so if you have any questions and you want to ask your questions or anything like that, you're going to be able to do that. We're going to keep it on Bull Run Life. We're not here to talk about Saitama. We're not here to talk about Shiba. Steve did a really good job in both of those. So, but he's not ready to talk about those and doesn't want to have a conversation about those. We want to focus just on Bull Run Life. So tomorrow we're going to have a kind of an impromptu show. We're going to set up the time tomorrow. And then we'll just talk about it, and you guys can, check in. And if you have any questions, you'll see an announcement from me during the course of the day tomorrow, and that'll be that. But here's a tutorial on how to navigate our upcoming dual staking platform for both BRL and Bull Run Life staking booster NFTs. So I'm waiting for it to go live. Are we live yet? I was waiting for the live, by the way. Yeah, CEO. Are we live? If we didn't go live, then we'll be live, I guess, shortly. But this is a thing where you can stake your tokens, and then you can add your NFTs, and they become like enhancers that make your rewards even bigger than what you originally were getting. And listen, I was in a phone call today with Steve and some of the team, and Jesus Christ, it's just out of control. What they've got going on. Hyperbole does allow me sometimes to just say, "Oh, I'm super excited about stuff like that." But I mean, you guys know the difference between me saying, you guys know the difference. That's all I'm gonna say. And like Jesus Christ, it's let's do this 1 second here. All right. DeFi God, you now have a wrench. And CEO, you got a wrench. All right. So tomorrow we got it going on. Thank you for the $10 bomb, CEO. But listen, it's not for me to say what's going on. So I can't, but holy shit, Modi Kind is out of his goddamn mind. That's all I'm gonna say. Modi Kind is he's just on another level. That's 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 what I'm gonna say at this moment. If all this stuff here's the thing. When all this stuff starts to play out and you actually start to see all of the developments that come with Bull Run Life, the things that I learned today, when you start to see the things that are coming that I learned today, you're gonna shit yourself. You're gonna be like, "Are you kidding me?" So I was actually, and I don't, again, you know, hyperbole. I was actually super surprised. Now, it's easy for me to do that, by the way, because you guys remember I put in 2 ETH at 56 cents and it's at, almost $2. So I'm feeling good about the investment overall because at this at this level of what's going on, I'm way up, right? So any big pump I mean, listen, if it goes from, what are we at right now, $1.60 or something like that. So if we go from $1.60 to 3.20, then my bag goes from, I mean, what is it, 6, 4, 5? I don't remember how much it is, but I'm at like 4 or 5 ETH. It goes up to 10 ETH. You know what I mean? And if it goes like 4 or 5x, like all of a sudden, I'm just sitting on a giant pile of ETH. So that's the way I look at it anyway, even though it's USDC. But like it's just crazy what he's got and how they're going to do the rewards. And guys, if you haven't already, give Bull Run Life at least a passing glance and look at it. I'm telling you, just look at it and know that the goal in this, there is going to be some buying and selling, but it's highly deflationary. You can go look at it. And as a matter of fact, while we're on it, we're going to take a quick look over at Bull Run Life because I wanted to show you. They start off with 1 billion tokens is the best way I can put this. They start off with 1 billion tokens, and now they have 985. So they've burned 15 million already, which is a small amount for small trading volume. Listen, we're in a bear market. We have 490 holders. We actually had conversations on how to do a lot of things today. And this thing is going to start getting super hot pretty soon. Burning a lot of supply. It's going to continue to dwindle. There's some supply that's going to be used for the staking and the rewards, and they're not even worried about they have huge ambitions for the rewards. So what you're going to do, the sole purpose for you right now is and there is a real world utility. So I'm not going to spoil it because that's not for me to do. But what I'm going to say is you get your tokens, and then you get, I think it's 5 NFTs. And if you have 5 NFTs, then you stake all 5 NFTs. Each one of the NFTs gives you an additional 6% off of your initial investment. So your staking percentage, let's just say your staking percentage starts, if you put all your tokens in, it starts at like 70%, right? Every NFT that you bought up to 5 gives you an additional 6%. So that's an extra 30%. So that means you get 100% of the possible rewards that are available, or you can look at it as your staking amount is 100%, and each one of those NFTs adds an additional percentage to the overall. And of course, it wouldn't be 6%, I don't think, that way, because it doesn't work that same way. I think it'd be 7.5 or something like that. But you get up to the maximum amount, whatever that is. And listen, on bad days, it's just going to be a few bucks. It's going to be some money going into your wallet. On good days with good trading volume, when like serious shit's going to be happening, it could be up to 50 or 100 and 200 bucks, depending on how many BRL you have. And then here's the other part. There's Modi's made a commitment for a business venture that he's working on that will create a real world utility. And then there's multiple real world utilities that they are trying to bring into the ecosystem almost immediately that they're working on. Not there yet, but they're working on the one for there is one that's just crazy and seems like it's going to be a lot. You know what I mean? So again, you do your own research, look at this and decide if this is the project for you. I have looked at it, and at no point have I really and listen, I've had a lot of people ask me, are you gonna sell? Are you gonna take your initial investment? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? And no, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna stake the whole thing, and I'm gonna see how much it is in USDC every day. And you know what? Just if I have something in my wallet that's building up my USDC, then that's exactly, I mean, that's the purpose of what I'm doing anyway, right? It's trying to build USDC because it's like real world money. So yeah, that's it's kind of crazy. And remember, I'm the speculator guy. I'm the analyst that's giving you all this. When you talk to Steve tomorrow, you're allowed to ask him questions about it, but Steve's not going to give you estimates, guesses, or anything like that about what he thinks it could do. But I could tell you this: I would imagine that in his mind, he's thinking that he's come up with a pretty good project. So check it out, and let's move on. Now, the next thing is Volt is now on 102. 102 exchanges. So look at this. lbank.com, the most searched coins over the weekend on lbank: Bitcoin, Floki, SafeMoon, Volt, Bit, and Algo. That's crazy, right? I mean, that is crazy, right? On lbank, Bitcoin is obviously number one, but then Floki, SafeMoon, Volt, Bit, and Algo. And Voltoshi says, yet they said that meme coins were no longer of interest. Volt must be different. Over here, this is Poloniex. On Poloniex, the number one traded token yesterday was Bitcoin, and number two is Volt. So that's crazy. Then here are the statistics for the last 7 days on hashtags. And the number one hashtag was Bitcoin. And the number one hashtag, or the number two hashtag, was Ethereum. Number three is Volt, followed by SHIB and Doge. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in and let that stink in. You know what I mean? So guys, you can say what you want about Volt, but this is going to, and look at that, 102 exchanges every day brings more joy. If you're a Volt holder, even when you're down, it doesn't matter. And also, it was an honor to help Mandox Relief and support their cause. The Crypto Empress, Daisy herself, is part of the Mandox team. And look, they're doing really cool stuff. And again, I'm never a big fan of these initiatives where you're like a donation token or something like that, because I don't think that goes very far. It doesn't create real world value. It gives you emotional value and it gives you a sense of purpose, but that's not going to sustain itself, right? But to be involved here is actually incredible. And I hope that they continue to do what they have been doing. So Volta Change, by the way, is also trending on Twitter. So, you know, guys, there's just a lot going on in the Voltiverse, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And no announcement over here on Lillian yet, wink, wink, but we'll see something pretty soon. Sam Bankman-Fried is seeking a bail arrangement in the United States. So he is being extradited from Bahamian custody and is seeking a bail arrangement in the United States. Now, tell me this dude is not going to get bailed out by his buddies in Congress, and then he is going to flee. Right? I mean, we all see this, right? This dude is going to absolutely get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is going to leave, and it's going this dude is going to be like Speedy Gonzalez, and there's going to be like a vapor trail behind him if you let him out. And you know this is true. And Honda, it's going to be both of them. He's got so many different he's got so many different people. Remember, one of the things that he pointed out, one of the reasons he was arrested was not over FTX, but it was over campaign contributions, because he gave max contributions to everybody. Said that he gave 50 million in donations just to Democrats, and then he gave a whole bunch more to Republicans. So he's going to have more than just liberal buddies in there. He's going to have a lot of buddies in there. Speaking of buddies, by the way, let's move over. Let's walk away from Sam Bankman-Fried and go to our man, Pat Toomey. Pat Toomey is a Republican out of Pennsylvania and crypto ally. He used one of his final days in office to send a last legislative message on regulating stablecoins. The final stretch of the waning Congress hasn't produced any crypto surprises, and the industry's lobbyists have been standing down. But Toomey decided to introduce a bill as a guide for next year's lawmakers who will be under pressure to do something about digital assets. I hope this framework lays the groundwork for my colleagues to pass legislation next year, safeguarding customer funds without inhibiting innovations. And here's the thing. I think we should all realize, and I think that we should all know by this point, that this is posturing. These guys are really just posturing, because it's not the people in America who were ripped off from this crypto exchange FTX. It is true that FTX.us went under bankruptcy protection, but it is also true that FTX.us has the money and doesn't have to be in this bankruptcy, and will probably be shed out of it because it's whole. And that's going to end up with everybody in FTX US getting their money back and everybody overseas not getting their money. So what are we regulating here, right? This is not regulation at this point. This is posturing and grandstanding. And everybody's doing it. And it's okay. I mean, everybody's doing it, but you have to ask yourself, what are they, what's the goal there? And look, everything that everybody does in politics is a posture maneuver. Okay. And I mean that about everybody. When Donald Trump says what can only be described as crazy shit by most people, he's actually speaking to a group of people who follow him, who believe that, look, there may not be a lot of truth to some of the things that he said, but there's a nugget of it in there and a feeling underneath that people have been betrayed by the government, that people have been let down by the people that they elect, that the system is rigged. And look, the system is rigged. So it doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you're on, you should be able to see that portion as clear as day at this point. Social media has done a lot of things for us. And one of the things that it's done is helped to open our eyes on what really is happening in this world. Donald Trump is a crook. He's a game show host that isn't a great businessman. But you know what he is? He is a celebrity. He's a likable person. And he's not lying to you. He might be deceiving in some ways. He really be deceiving in some ways. But at the end of the day, all of those crazy things that you hear him talking about, there's a lot of people that are being neglected. The reason people are voting for Donald Trump and the reason that people are voting and the reason that they think that that all the Democrats are the P word is not because somebody just randomly said that, but because there just keeps this leak comes out that this person's arrested for this crazy stuff, and this person is a major contributor to campaigns and stuff like that. I mean, let's start with Jeffrey Epstein and just work our way from there. Like, there's just crazy stuff. There's just crazy stuff that happens. Now, at the end of this, Donald Trump is a guy who inherited $413 million from his father when his father passed away, and he turned that $413 million in 30 years of hard work into a $413 million empire of just basically his dad's money. He bankrupted multiple companies along the way. He's cash poor right now, but he has the name, and that name will live on, and that name will make him money until the end. So, even if he's not the billionaire that everybody says, he's still a lot of money heir, and he's still going to be just fine. And he still has a fan base that will buy 45,000 NFTs in the course of a day at $99 to put the cash in his pocket. So never dismiss, never dismiss when he says something. He isn't, look, he's a crazy old man, right? And Joe Biden's a zombie, and both can be true, right? But this crazy old man is not lying to you about the media and the government. They're not really out to get you, so to speak. There's no the conspiracy, so to speak, is not as vast and coordinated. Let me rephrase that. It is vast, but it's not as coordinated as someone would have you believe. It's not coordinated. It's just a comedy of, this is how they make the money. This is how the media makes that money. And here's the thing. If you are a media provider and you have to send your news out, right? You have to find a market and you have to find an audience. So Fox News found its audience, right? CNN found its audience. MSNBC found their audiences, and they like to be ginned up with certain things, right? And there's hot buttons that they have. For example, climate change used to be called global warming, but now it's climate change. Climate change used to be one of those things that gin people up. Abortion gins people up. You have all of your opinions about stuff. And listen, there are plenty of Trump supporters right now that support Roe versus Wade. And they don't support the state's right to decide for you what's in your best interest on your health care. They don't support that. But there are plenty of people that do. And the argument is not about the freedom of a woman, even though I will say that. I would just go out and say that. It's not about that. You know what it's about? It's about if you are if you're part of the cult of Catholicism, for example. That's, I mean, those people are kind of crazy, right? We should be able to agree that there's something wrong there, right? But if you're part of these groups, right, you think it's murder. You think that this is murder. And when they start to throw things out there like late term and hot button topics, even though that they barely like if they exist, it's barely, and it's in the case of an emergency or something like that, or in an extreme circumstance. It is incredibly rare for anybody to ever have something like that to begin with, because most states do regulate a certain point, right? So you're getting mad over something that doesn't exist and pretending like it does, and that it's happening everywhere, and it's not really. That's the ginning up process. But you find your audience and you go for it. And when you're being paid, and when it's a paid method, that's what happens. You get paid. You know what I mean? Climate change is laughable. It's called weather. I mean, not exactly. It's in many ways. Look, the Earth is always going to go through a cycle. It's going to get warmer. It's going to get cooler. It's going to get warmer. It's going to get cooler. It's going to get warmer. It's going to get cooler. The question is, can we stop emissions so that the Earth can do it normally and not get just a little bit hotter because of men, and get a little bit cooler, or not get as cool? Like maybe the Earth needs for those things to happen. And if we, by virtue of, I think now it's cow farts, if by virtue of cow farts and carbon, if we get it a little bit hotter than it's meant to be, for longer than it's meant to be, will it melt enough ice to raise ocean levels to change the topography more and do all those weird things? So, that's the nature of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, look, in a few years, we're going to be talking about people who used to live in Miami. That's exactly right. Everything that he's done so far, and look, you should, if you if you're a Democrat, you should be incredibly frustrated because uh, because Donald Trump is like it's like he's wearing Teflon the whole time, and nothing you do sticks to him. Not because of his people, by the way, not because of his people. He's just good at it. He's not great at business, right? He sucks. Anybody, look, if you have a casino and you file bankruptcy on a casino, you suck as a businessman. Like that's a slam dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way that that's just insane, right? You suck as a businessman. But as a celebrity and as a personality, I mean, Home Alone 2, the list goes on, right? The guy knows how to run the media and he knows how to work the media better than you, better than CNN, better than anybody else. So you should always just, you know what, enjoy the ride because isn't the dude like 70 something years old? The ride's not going to last forever. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong outlines a blueprint for effective crypto regulation. And here, in a blog post published today, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong outlined a blueprint for effective crypto regulation. Armstrong discussed the major topic abounding the industry and how it can move forward amidst a difficult year. He calls for regulations. It's best to create regulatory clarity first around centralized actors in crypto, which is stablecoin issuers, exchanges, and custodians. Additionally, noting that a lack of clarity is where the most risk and harm comes to users. Among that call for clarity, Armstrong headlines stablecoins, exchange and custodians, and commodities and securities as in titles that must be clarified by regulators. Specifically, Armstrong calls for Congress to require the CFTC and SEC to publish categorizations of the top 100 crypto assets within 90 days of legislation. The second step in Armstrong's play is to enforce a level playing field. Specifically for the above clarification to sports enforceable rules, Armstrong points to FTX's ability to create a broad customer base, freeing it from specific domestic jurisdictions from any one entity. Armstrong states that enforcement starts with countries' willingness to enforce rules domestically and abroad. Conclusively, the third step is for innovation to occur in decentralized crypto. Armstrong remarks that his plan is how to regulate centralized actors in crypto. So if you guys go back to a bunch of episodes ago, I told you, we're not really affected by this. How we cash out money in centralized finance, that's what's going to be regulated. Decentralized finance, you can't control it. An opportunity to create even stronger consumer protections, utilizing smart contract self-custodial wallets and on-chain accounting. Armstrong perceives this as the future, allowing the industry to begin encoding trust in a real way. DeFi is going to continue to be basically the Wild West. So never forget. Hashtag never forget. XRP whales amass tokens as SEC versus Ripple announce a new date, January 13. They have an extension until January 13 to file the Daubert motions, and we'll see how this goes. So if you are an accumulator of XRP, then you now have another date. It's been pushed back just a little bit further. So here we go. Remember, by the way, I want you to remember that date, by the way, January 13. Now, what did I say? I said the week of January 16 is when we're going to find out what happens, right? And lastly here, popular crypto analyst predicts massive Bitcoin price rally next year. Now he's talking about bullish divergence here. He pointed to analytics that said, when does he a popular cryptocurrency analyst predicted a massive Bitcoin price rally for next year based on a technical indicator flashing a trend reversal, which would suggest Bitcoin's sell-off is soon coming to an end. In a tweet shared with nearly 190,000 followers, pseudonymous analyst Immortal noted that Bitcoin is flashing a bullish divergence on its 3-day chart with its RSI making higher lows. Monster divergence in Bitcoin, it's positive, but it isn't a bottom signal. Price may continue to go down as the RSI makes higher lows. A bullish divergence occurs when prices are falling to new lows. Now, that being said, let's move on to what, look, this is one of the things that we're looking at on the chart, right? This right here, we're heading to exactly what this guy is talking about. We're not there yet, but by this point right here, we should be there. And if we are there, then this will force Bitcoin to logically either make a move or it breaks a 5-year long trend. And it could be easy to break that 5-year trend. I should point out that, when you're doing like these technical analysis and you're guessing what's going to happen, right? Like when I tell you this, I'm telling you like it's the gospel and like I know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I do know how to look for patterns. I do know how to figure out what is most likely going on here. But when you're in this rare time, look, if we're in a bull market, 100%, no matter what, this right here would bounce and it would go to 30 something $1,000. Okay. If we were in the bull market, this would just go. But we're not. We're still in the bear market, and we're not flipping to a bullish market until we can get some letdown from the Fed, and we can start to see some retracement on some of the negativity that we've dealt with from the Fed. And we still have to look at this inflation. We have to see how inflation looks a month from now, and then a month from now, and then a month from now, until we get it down to that number of 2% that we're really looking for. So, we've still got time. And as long as that's looking like it could get worse, and as long as we have this bad situation without regulation, then we're still going to experience problems. Now, if I go back to the day chart and I take a look at the day chart, so we have right here, this is the collapse of SBF right here. This is the collapse of Elon Musk being a cunt. This is the collapse of Terra Luna, right? Voyager Digital, Three Arrows, they're all mixed in here, right? But what happens over here? We bottom out right here, and a rally starts. Well, then Elon does his bullshit, and then a rally starts. And then I forget what happened here. This might be when Three Arrows went down. That might have been the start of that right there. And maybe that was Voyager and this was Three Arrows. We can go back and we can look at it. We can find it. But, but every time we get a recovery, right? A slight recovery, but a recovery nonetheless. Well, here is what happened with SBF. And that took us down to where we at here, 15.6. And now here we are at almost 17,000 right now, slowly but surely making our way back up. So now the question is, what is the next catalyst? And if the next catalyst comes in and it's a positive catalyst, then we're off to the moon. If it's a negative catalyst, then we're screwed. And I think that's about the fairest way to put anything right now. And while we're at it, we go look over here and we can see that Luna Classic is using, again, we talked about this morning. Oh shit, I didn't even put the video out. Maybe there's a video coming. But you can see us bouncing off of the support line right here, and it should make a move back upwards. Same thing with USTC. I'd like to see USTC get a move going. But looking at the market, nothing is moving, and we can't move. We're not going anywhere with $25 billion in volume at any given time. It's just not probable. Things could change. We could see something happen, but generally speaking, we are not going anywhere with $25 billion in volume. That supports about a $500 or $600 billion market. So when it gets negative, then it's going to be even worse. But let me also point out some volume here, because I think it should be safe to say, and it's going to be weird to kind of look at it here, but I think that there is a I want to say that if I look at there is there's something that I'm trying to. Let me try a global chart here. So what I want to look at is trading volume. Right here. Okay. So, yeah, I need a little bit longer here. Let's do just a little bit longer here. All right. So trading volume was when we were up here mooning, so to speak, was $142 billion a day. That was the big trading volume that we were having. This is around November. Now, what we're talking about here is going down to December. And if you look here, we're on December 23rd, December 25 should be right in here somewhere. December 25. Yeah, here we go. The volume was halved all the way down to $72 billion. So the volume went way, way, way down. Then afterwards, and remember, we're at 25 right now. We're at this little area right here. What's today's date? The 21st. So on the 21st of last year, at the same time, we had a volume of 87 billion. So, yeah, it's and now here we go down with market cap, but you can see the trading volume. The trading volume is still high over here, but then we hit right here and we start to see another breakdown. We're down at $52 billion. So when you're looking around here, one of the things that you're probably going to see is compared to the days before. And that's, again, around here, we're talking about 150, 130, 148, 118, 102, 114, 127, 137, 145 billion, 162 billion, 160 billion, hundreds of billions until 203 billion right here, in the hundreds still. Now, here we go right here. It's starting to, we're in December and it's starting to go down. And now we're constantly minting under $100 billion. So we're seeing the market just kind of precipitously decline in that period. So right now we are going down, 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 and we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Now, if I'm picking the bottom, May or June, and I'm picking the bottom not because I think that that's when the bottom is going to happen, but Gareth Soloway has already did the work for us, and he says that he thinks that the bottom is going to be around that time. And he gave what I thought was a pretty good reason in his analysis of why he thinks that's the case. And he also said that he thinks that this is probably going to be a relief rally that we're going to experience right now in January and February, just like what I'm saying. But he says that, you know, in the first quarter, probably around March, we're really going to see, we're going to see the worst part of the recession, because the holidays are going to be over. Things are going to start looking a little bit nasty in the markets. And then we're going to start to feel the actual pain of stuff. And that's going to, you know, that's going to make these markets do things that they don't want to do. And, you know, that's going to suck. But then we'll have a rally, we'll have a rally, then it's going to suck. And then May or June is where it should be just the worst. And then hopefully not on my goddamn birthday again. That hopefully that's not where we have the low. But from there, then we start to build. That's supposed to be, or should be, or reasonably could be the absolute bottom. So if you're trading long right now, or if you're making trades and you would like to take them out for a long period of time, I mean, shorting is the nature of the game at this point, assuming that we're going to go down. And listen, if you're at 16,000 right now, and you're playing for 12,000, you're trying to make a 25% short. And unless you have a lot of money, it's not worth the risk. You know what I mean? So if you're playing big money, then, see what happens. But I'm telling you, we're going to have, something good is going to happen here at the beginning of January, maybe through February. Maybe we'll get like 10 weeks of a decent run and then see what happens from there. But we're going down after that. So I think that's my time. So this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. You guys be very careful. From what I can see right now, the trading is just dangerous. It's just dangerous right now. So be very careful, and we'll see you for breakfast in the morning. Have a good night, and do yourself a favor. Go look at BRL, see if you want to stake with it, because I do think that there could be something good. And Matty B's got to stop being so negative, man. Dude, we're going to get a relief rally. May not be huge, but we'll get something. We'll get a little bit. All right, talk to you guys later.
I'm looking for the good life, sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining